you're starting from scratch. There's really no business in a box. You've got to do a lot of these things on your own, and organization really is key. Real Estate Lab. Welcome to Chapter 2, Starting Your Company. So first up, pick a name and form an entity, a legal entity. And I'll tell you why we do this. First of all, I'm not a lawyer, so disclaimer, right? This is not legal advice, but pretty common, pretty standard practice is forming a legal entity for your company. So this is for people that want to create a business out of this. You're going to be working full-time in this. These are my loose suggestions. Obviously, run everything by your legal counsel and your accountants before you do anything. So biggest thing, right? You're with this. You're creating a brand around what you're doing. If you want to be in this business long term, you want to create a company around this. You're not just trying to dabble in this business. You're trying to create a company. Don't spend forever doing this, but pick a name for your company and create a brand around it. Like I said, you don't want to spend a ton of hours doing this. If it's taking up a ton of your time, literally skip it for now. But I would suggest that you very quickly think about a name, spend a little bit of time, think about a name, and then form an entity, a legal entity. And normally, people will form limited liability companies as a sole proprietorship if you're by yourself. If you have a business partner, consult with an attorney about how to do that, but you can also form an LLC partnership. It's very easy to do, forming an LLC. Most states at this point, you go on your state website and you find an LLC form, you fill it out, and you could either file it online or mail it in. I would not suggest, personally, I would not suggest hiring an attorney to do this if you could figure out how to do it yourself online, because normally filing fees are anywhere from $25 to $200 or $300. I've seen attorneys charge people $1,000 plus to set up an LLC. That is absolutely gouging, and you should never pay that much. I set up all my own LLCs in Texas here and in Michigan when I used to live in Michigan. I just go on the state website, search up LLC formation in your state. And I don't know about every state. I haven't tried it in every state, but most states, you should be able to do that. And your LLC name is going to be, ABC Business. My personal or my real estate company is called Toupin Holdings LLC. So that's my holding entity for a lot of my. I hold interest in LLCs that hold interest in LLCs or which other properties, right? And so an LLC is a layer of protection for you and your business. The LLC allows you to operate and perform business through it. You can set up a bank account once you get what's called an EIN, an employer identification number, under your LLC. So once you set up an LLC, then go and get an employer identification number through that's a federal thing, and that you can get assigned one online. As long as the name of your LLC isn't taken, first check that, then go and get an EIN. You can get an EIN instantly online. I think the website is called EIN registration. Let's see. irs.gov/businesses/small-business-self-employed. Just type in IRS EIN setup. And there is a link to apply online for an EIN. And through there, you can apply online and get an EIN. Once you have an EIN, you're going to send that and your LLC formation documents to the bank of your choice. And they're going to be able to set up a company bank account for you to operate through. And why I'm saying you should do this is because in this business, there are a lot of things we can write off. There are a lot of things that we can expense, tax advantageous, and you just want to stay organized. So if you set that up from the start, you get a bank account set up, get a business debit card, business credit card, any business expenses that you incur from this point going forward, track them, whether you get a free QuickBooks account or you use Excel. I suggest using QuickBooks and maybe hiring a bookkeeper if you could, afford to hire somebody for, $100 to $200 a month, and have them manage your expenses and track it. It'll make things so much easier when it comes for tax time, just to do it from the start. So I'm telling you guys this now because I suggest if you plan on making this your business, set up an entity, create a name that you could brand your company after. Go ahead and get your EIN, set up a bank account, and go and get QuickBooks and manage your expenses through there, and organize everything. Organization is really key in this business. There's a lot of things going on, and when you're starting a business, a lot of times people that are listening to this, watching this, you've maybe worked for other companies. I have as well, whether small businesses or larger institutions, and all of those systems are in place already most of the time when you come into a company, right? You're starting from scratch. There's really no business in a box. You've got to do a lot of these things on your own, and organization really is key. And I'm going to go over in a little bit what are the tools that I use in my business in this chapter, and QuickBooks is one of them. So we're going to go over that in a little bit here. Pick your name, form your entity, get your EIN, set up a bank account. Next, I would suggest also, don't take a ton of time to do this stuff, because this stuff is not going to make you money, but this stuff is just kind of foundational for starting a business. And these are the things that I think are really good and going to give you a little bit of confidence in having that company and getting started, right? And having that brand. They make you look a little bit more legitimate when you're just getting started and you don't have the track record or experience. So the next thing is creating a website. Again, don't spend a ton of time on this, because this is not really making you money right now. It's a long-term thing. And so I'm going to screen share here really quick and show you guys what I suggest you do, because I just want to touch on it really quick in making a website. Again, don't spend forever doing this. So I've always used Wix for websites. I have like 5 different websites through Wix for a couple of different businesses we have. And I think it is one of the easiest ones to use. I've used Squarespace before, and I've used a couple others. I don't really like them. I think the integrations are better on Wix. They're a really big company, and they pour a lot of money into their site. They have a lot of really cool templates. They make it really easy. Here's some real estate and finance ones. You could just click through and pick one that you like. So, just click on this, for example. Again, you could do this honestly in under 6 to 8 hours. I've built one of these 6 to 8 hours. So you can easily go in, grab this website, take a look at some templates. Here's your team. I mean, this is a 1-page website. You don't need you really don't need all these different a bunch of different tabs, right? This website, as you can see, is just a 1-pager. It's not taking you to a bunch of different pages. Super simple. All you do is click edit this site. Maybe it'll let me. Then you got to log in. So basically, it'll give you this template, and then from there, all you're going to do is you're going to change out your title here, your logo. You're going to go in and change out all the text here. Move things around. You can edit it if you want. You can get so in depth if you want on this. However, I'll show you my real estate company or my real estate website right now. So I made this on Wix. I took probably less than 5 hours to do it. 4 or 5 hours, and I picked a template. I modified it a little bit, added some colors. This is Toupin Holdings, about us, when we were founded, what we've done. Just a little bit of my portfolio, properties we bought, our strategy, and obviously when you get started, I didn't have the properties to put in here to show our track record. So you might want to fill it in with a little bit more information, different things like, hey, who are you, about yourself, what's your background. You can go in and put some knowledge about how to invest. If you want, I work with investors on some projects, some frequently asked questions, but this is super simple, and it's just something to put in your email signature and something to put on, people don't really use business cards anymore, but something to put on your Instagram bio or your Facebook profile, LinkedIn profile, right? It's good to have a website to drive people to, for just learning more about your company. Once people see you have a website, it makes you look a little bit more legitimate. So, go out there, spend a little bit of time, not a lot. Don't let this inhibit the rest of your business. But I do think it is good to have a website here. So, last thing on this topic, after you have all your branding set up, your website, your entity, is to set up a professional email. Don't cheap out on it. I suggest Google. I use Google Email, Google Business Suite, and I think it's like $6 a month. You could set it up through Wix. It's actually really easy. If you go and set up a website through Wix, you buy a domain. So whatever your company name is, mine is Toupin Holdings, so mine is toupinholdings.com. And then you set up your email, right? David@toupinholdings.com. I can't tell you how much it helps to have a professional email as opposed to, davidtoupin@gmail.com, right? People don't take that as seriously. People that are running businesses in this industry, most of the time you're going to have a professional email, and you're going to be looked upon more seriously when you have all this stuff set up. Modify your email signature with your website, your logo, all that type of stuff. It's just going to help give you a little bit of confidence, that professional brand. So do this in your first week. Honestly, I think this is something you should be able to knock out in your first week goals. Write that down as your goal is pick a name, set up an entity, get your EIN, set up a bank account for the business, get your QuickBooks set up a website, a logo, and a business email. Those are 8 things. So go back through if you need to re-listen to that, but write those 8 things down. Once you do all those, you're going to be good to go. A couple more coming up. I'm going to be talking about social media and networking, the importance of social media and the importance of networking.